Good morning. Welcome to the Butterfly Bed and Breakfast. My name is Shirley Dias and I'm Vice Chairman of the Butterfly Habitat Committee, chaired by Jane Johnson. And I would like to show you what we do in here today. So in here what we do is that we grow our host plants, and we also propagate the nectar plants and our host plants for our butterflies. Our committee members find the eggs and the caterpillars out into the habitat, and they bring them here and we place them on the various host plants, because every butterfly has specific host plants it can lay its eggs on. Here is a monarch, and its host plant is milkweed. It happens to be sitting on a giant milkweed. We have here something unusual most people don't notice, but when you see the cannas or the cannas out about, there is a skipper that actually is a leaf folder, and inside these folded leaves is actually the canna skipper. One of our most numerous butterflies in the habitat is our gold-rimmed swallowtail, or the Polydamas. These are its caterpillars. They live on the Dutchman's pipevine, and they will turn into our gold-rimmed swallowtails. Those are the black swallowtails that you see flying out there. One of the hardest things to do is find eggs. They're very tiny, and our volunteers, they learn where to find the eggs, because every butterfly, besides a specific host plant, lays on a different section of the plant. The Gulf fritillaries usually lay on the face of the leaves. Their eggs right here. They lay usually on the face of the leaf or on the tendrils, and there's another one right there. Versus the zebra longwing, our state butterfly, which you'll see a lot of out in the habitat, they lay on the tips of the passion vine, and they lay in the shade. And so we have caterpillars in here, but they are good hiders. So once the caterpillars have eaten enough carbohydrates and proteins to make their chrysalis, they normally wander quite a distance and they find an appropriate place, a safe place to make their chrysalis. Inside their chrysalis is where the butterfly actually is forming. We let them make their chrysalises anywhere they want to. Up in here, you can see old chrysalises up at the top, and there's a few new ones. But what we do when they're in peril, if they're in not a safe place, is we put them in our chrysalis box. And here we usually face this out so people can watch and see, and perhaps see a butterfly emerge from the different chrysalises. So this first one here is a gold-rimmed swallowtail chrysalis. And then we have zebra longwing chrysalises. And then over here that looks like we have green and brown black swallowtail chrysalises. And we pin them up in there, and as the butterflies emerge from their chrysalis, we then release them back out into the habitat to complete their life cycle again. As Jane will tell you, we have everything they need. They don't need to go anywhere else. There's mates, there's host plants, there's plenty of flowering nectar plants for the adults, because that's what they eat. And then the cycle begins again.
Hi, I'm Jane Johnston, and I'm chairman of the Butterfly Habitat Committee, and I'm so excited to take you all through the habitat this morning. I'll give you just a little bit of history as we go through. This garden, the funds were donated in 1997 by Hermine Hartley in honor of her mom, Hermine Pepperidge. In 2011, the garden had really fallen into disrepair, and Gaz Goslin and Alice DeBon got the vision to revitalize the habitat and bring it back together. And so we formed a new committee, and we began the process of making the habitat what it is today. This trellis that you see that we're looking at is a vision of a lot of life happening in here. There are eggs and caterpillars and chrysalises all in here for the butterflies to complete their life cycle. If you come on in with me, I can share with you the progress. In 2013, I think it was, Shell Point gave us permission to begin to raise funds for the habitat. And so our first project was this deck here, we call it a platform. That was followed by this beautiful fountain over here, which was donated by Jean Warden's family in honor of her. Then we were out, my husband and I were out visiting with friends one night and told them of the Butterfly Habitat Committee's vision of having a walkway that would bring you clear in to the garden so that you can see from the inside out. This project here was completed by contractors, but from here back was completed by Shell Point volunteers who built this. These photographs are all taken by Alvin Williams, and they are of butterflies in the habitat. We have photographic evidence of around 33 butterflies, and then we have some sightings of a couple of others. So we have 33 different types of butterflies that are completing their life cycle here in the habitat. As we walk through here, I want you to notice the orchids. Now orchids are the only plant that we have in here that are not for the butterflies. You're seeing all this lush, beautiful garden. We have about 135 different species of plants, and around 50 of those are host plants. If you don't have a host plant for a specific butterfly, you will not have that butterfly. Each butterfly has a plant that it likes to lay its eggs on, and its caterpillars get their nourishment from. So we have 50 different species of host plants in here. We're very proud of our Butterflies of Lee County sign. This is a sign that you will see at various butterfly habitats in the city, but ours is unique because we took off butterflies that are not present in our habitat, and we added some that are. And so this is a unique sign. Thank you all for joining me today, and I want to invite you to come back and see the habitat. Any one of the volunteers that you see around will be happy to share and tell you all about the habitat.